Hey, welcome to another episode of Live, Think, Grow. My name is 𝗁𝗲𝗀𝗀, and I help spiritual women overcome fear, boost their confidence, and create a thriving online business so they can make more money and spread impact. On today's episode, I am going to be talking about imposter syndrome and how to get over it. Now, you may not have heard of imposter syndrome before, but I bet you that you've felt it, especially if you're trying to go down this entrepreneurial route. Imposter syndrome is essentially what is behind this belief, which is, who am I to do XYZ? Who am I to be a life coach? Who am I to be a professional photographer? Who am I to be an entrepreneur? And so essentially imposter syndrome is what it sounds like. It's when you believe that you aren't good enough to be doing something. And so because you have this belief, it stops you from moving forward. It basically stops you in your tracks. Now, imposter syndrome comes up all the time with my clients. If I had a nickel for every time one of my clients told me they've suffered from this syndrome, I would be a very rich woman. But then again, I am very abundant, but that's another story. What I'm trying to say is that it is very common when you're first going on an entrepreneurial journey that this syndrome comes up. And so today I want to take the time to talk about how you can reframe this syndrome so that you won't let it stop you from you going after your dreams. And let's be real, imposter syndrome can keep you from starting a business. It can keep you from continuing a business if you started one. It can keep you from pursuing any career, really, because if you feel like you're not good enough, then your lower self or your ego is gonna just stop you from doing it in the first place. So it's really important that we nip it in the bud and reframe that belief. How do we reframe imposter syndrome? How could this syndrome possibly help you or serve you? I want to let you know that if imposter syndrome is coming up for you, it's actually a good thing. What? You're like, Regina, what? How is me not believing in myself good? Because if you have imposter syndrome, it's actually an indicator that you are aware of your knowledge gaps. Meaning that you are aware that your journey of expertise and of knowledge and knowing whatever subject that you are interested in pursuing business in has not reached or come to fruition. Because let's be real, if you did not have imposter syndrome, think of the alternate. It would actually mean that you are just confident with the skill level that you're at. Maybe you wouldn't continue pursuing knowledge, you wouldn't invest in yourself. So if you are having these thoughts creep up, like, okay, but am I qualified enough to teach this or to charge for this? It's just an indicator that you know that the pursuit of knowledge does not end. And so you can actually reframe this syndrome by reminding yourself that because you have it, it means that you're not going to stop on your quest or journey for learning more in that subject area. And this is exactly what I tell my clients all the time. I say, okay, if you know you're having imposter syndrome coming up about coaching, like, who am I to be an empowerment coach? The fact that that is coming up shows that you know that you still have a lot to learn about empowering others and empowering yourself. Let that fuel you for your education to better serve you in becoming an expert, but don't let imposter syndrome stop you from moving forward in the first place. So that's the powerful thing about reframes, especially when dealing with mindset, is that the way in which you frame or perceive a situation can either serve you or hurt you. So whenever there's a limiting belief or something holding you back, you do have that same exact choice. You can frame it in a way that serves you. And that's exactly what I'm talking to you about right now. So I want you to allow this reframe with imposter syndrome to reinvigorate your passion for whatever you're doing or conducting business in. So know that you are qualified enough. There is always someone who is before you in their journey. So no matter what you are entering business in, there's always going to be someone who's few steps behind you. So there's always room in the marketplace for your knowledge and for what you have to offer them. And because you have imposter syndrome, you know that you're not going to stop educating yourself. You're not going to stop growing. You're not going to stop learning. Allow that to fuel you in becoming a better expert, right? Like, I didn't just start business coaching at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. No, it took months and months of me doing a different kind of coaching for me to acquire the expertise I needed to then start consulting people on their business. So know that you will grow, and who you cater your marketing to and your business to will change as you grow as well. That's the amazing thing about entrepreneurship. No matter what business you're in, there will always be room for that. And another example I like to just throw in, right? Like a celebrity stylist, someone who like styles their clothes. They didn't start there, right? They had to start somewhere. They probably started as an intern, okay? And they built up in their level of skill, and as they gained more expertise and more knowledge, they were then able to expand who their services cater to. So it's the same thing no matter what business journey or route that you're on. So that's it for this week's episode of Live, Think, Grow. If you enjoy this, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I'm at 𝗁𝗲𝗄𝗀. Also, feel free to subscribe so you never miss a beat, never miss a new episode every single Thursday. And, of course, follow me on TikTok for little mini trainings and snippets. I'm also at 𝗁𝗲𝗄𝗀. That's it for this week's episode of Live, Think, Grow. Until next week, happy living.